boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. This is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things dirty through a common sense lens. And you know we've had fun documenting the disastrous dumpster fire that is all things Kevin Feige's MCU out there. And honestly, it's one of them situations where at this point, you kind of expect pretty much everything to come out to absolutely fail miserably. Most of the shows that have come out have been nothing more than agenda-driven storytelling, whammon, awesome, but men bad, yada, 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 kind of normal, typical stuff out there, of course, and it's more of the MCU stuff. A lot of the kind of things that we've seen post-Endgame have nothing more than rehashes of what failed miserably in the Marvel comic book runs out there, and Kevin Feige, for some reason, thought that he could do it better than them and actually make it palatable to a general audience. I'm sorry if it couldn't succeed with hardcore comic book fans with pull lists that they literally show up to weekly, in some cases at their local comic book shop to actually buy, then guess what? You're not going to sell it to a general audience out there either, and Marvel Zombies has been nothing more than exactly that. Grace Randolph, a YouTuber out there, was asked about this series, and she said she couldn't watch it for more than 5 or 10 minutes before she actually had to turn it off. And well, guess what, boys and girls? Grace Randolph at least gave it that, but hey, it turns out the majority of the fans felt the exact same way because Marvel burnout is real, boys and girls, and Marvel Zombies' second season has absolutely turned into a disastrous dumpster fire and bombs on Disney Plus, boys and girls. It failed to chart on Nielsen. Yes, another 100, 200 million disastrous dumpster fire for Kevin Feige's Marvel Cinematic Universe out there, and another failure for a Disney Plus show because color us shocked there. Marvel has burned all of their fan base. Fantastic Four flopped, proves that, because guess what? The trade magazines didn't have any excuses for that anymore. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 should have been a $1 billion global box office phenomenon. Instead, it didn't even crack $900 million globally. Why? Because Marvel burnout is real and nobody trusts this stuff unless the fans go and see this and praise it from the high heavens. And boys and girls, Marvel Zombies was not that. And when you hear about everything that they did, and of course, who the main protagonist was in the show, you know, one of them folks out there that worked out so well in Marvel's Reimagined Tomorrow kind of comic book stuff. Yeah, I think everybody will understand exactly why nobody had any interest in the show whatsoever. So we're going to check out this article from cosmicbook.news, getting all the juicy details of exactly how bad this thing had to have been to not chart at all. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,300 a little while ago. We're inching our way closer and closer to 24. I think we're sitting at like 2397, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. What do you think about all this? Did you watch Marvel Zombies? Did you give it a shot? Are you one of the many Marvel fans out there who are completely and totally done and burnt out on all of this nonsense, and you didn't bother picking up the show either because you simply don't trust Kevin Feige's version of Marvel anymore? Let us know what you think about it in the comment section down below. To support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from cosmicbook.news and our dear sweet Matt McGloin. We nearly missed this one, but Marvel Zombies has landed as another Disney Plus miss for the MCU. Surprise! It's another MCU project starring Miss Marvel that nobody watched. Well, after all, Miss Marvel wasn't made for us, so why would we bother? Once again, another failed comic book hero, right? That literally the only way they can even make their death relevant is throw them into a Spider-Man comic to where they really had no relation, connection, or backstory to Spider-Man and the rest of his friends at all. Boy, it gave you a fancy little cover, though, that didn't sell at all and didn't work, and guess what? Nobody cares. So, yeah, didn't work out very well for Marvel Zombies either. Despite Marvel dropping all 4 episodes at once, the animated series still failed to chart on Nielsen, an increasingly common outcome for Marvel streaming projects, especially the animated shows. And this is what they always try to do, right? This is why, if you aren't aware of this, in case this is your first time hearing this, which that's perfectly okay, this is why they drop multiple episodes all at once, right? This is why you'll get 2, 3, 4 episode season premieres out of some of these streaming services. Or, in like the cases of Echo, they'll drop it all at once because they know how much of a disastrous dumpster fire that thing's going to be, right? So they know this. This is why they try to do it. They intentionally try to pad the numbers because they understand the way the Nielsen rating system works, right? Because all of your minutes watched per Nielsen accounts for across all of your episode, right? James Gunn's Peacemaker Season 2. The last couple of episodes charted on Season 2. Why? Because it counts season 1. So that means all of the numbers for people going back and watching season 1 and all of the numbers watching season 2 included all the way up until the end finally got it to chart on Nielsen ratings, which is why Disney will drop 4 episodes of something all at once, because the hope is any hardcore fans, any Disney Marvel pixie dusters out there will sit there and watch all 4 episodes all the way through, even though it's trash, even though it's garbage, to hopefully end up hitting those numbers, because all of those minutes count. That's why they do it. And guess what? They couldn't pull that off. Got beaten by Netflix for the top, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 8, all the way to 7. The top 7 Netflix has. Top original series: Black Rabbit, Wayward, Wednesday, obviously, House of Guinness. Really? Beauty and Black, The Great British Baking Show. Beat Marvel. Billionaire Bunker, The Morning Show on Apple TV. How many of y'all got a subscription to Apple TV? Tulsa King, color us shocked there. Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, another Netflix series. All beat a Kevin Feige Marvel production. Seriously, who even has a subscription to Apple TV? Seriously, who has one? I don't know. I don't know, boys and girls. But this is insane, and this is sad. For the week of September 22nd to 28th, the bottom Nielsen original charts was Netflix's Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, at 428 million minutes. Because Marvel Zombies didn't make the list, it means the series pulled in less than 428 million minutes. The following week, Gen V sat at the bottom with 400 million minutes again, showing Marvel Zombies didn't even reach that lower threshold. And we already pretty much heard from the insiders over there at Amazon that the whole Boys franchise is over, right? Like even the showrunner itself said, well, it all depends on if we get good ratings for Gen V, whether or not we'll continue. Basically already admitting the fact that he knows the writing's on the wall. So essentially a canceled universe, a series that's basically done, charted better than the ongoing Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. Bottom line, Marvel Zombies came in under 400 million minutes. More evidence of the MCU's decline on streaming. Marvel Zombies now joins a long list of MCU projects that failed to gain traction on Disney+. Recent underperformers include Daredevil Born Again, didn't chart at all, despite the fact that I mostly enjoyed the show. Ironheart, which we also reviewed. Lower average viewership, which wouldn't have charted. The only reason it did chart was because they dropped the 3-episode thing all over again. What If? Season 3? Once again, Season 3. Something they have greenlit twice to have more of. Didn't chart. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? That absolute abomination rewrite of Peter Parker's origin story and everything else? Holy God. Yeah, that identity politics trash? Didn't chart. Eyes of Wakanda? Didn't chart. Starting to see a pattern here? X-Men 97 didn't chart, which was praised by fans universally, right? It got Bo DeMayo fired because there were people saying that it was better than Kevin Feige's Fox X-Men movies, okay? Even that couldn't chart. Nielsen remains the industry standard for the measuring streaming viewership, giving the most trusted look at what audiences are actually watching. Disney Plus is also Nielsen tracking enabled by default, in case you weren't aware. You're automatically included in the Nielsen numbers if you watch anything on Disney Plus, which includes Hulu and ESPN. You're automatically part of this. And guess what? Even having that automatically turned on did not make a difference. When a Marvel title fails to chart, it means the audiences simply didn't show up. Releasing all 4 episodes at once should have helped Marvel Zombies generate big minutes, yet the audience didn't tune in. Even the Kamala Khan positioned as the last Avenger, the series couldn't draw viewers. Wow, another surprise. They continue that notion the MCU brand no longer carries automatic interest in a post-Endgame approach, even for a once popular concepts like Marvel Zombies. As a result of the MCU shows underperforming significantly on Disney+, Disney has since reduced the budgets and the amount of content. And yep, Marvel Zombies Season 2 has not been officially confirmed. I wonder why. Just like the what if stuff, it doesn't work out. And I apologize. I thought they'd already done one Marvel Zombies season 1 already. That shows you how long this thing's been in development and how long this thing's been in the can and how long it took them to put them out. Because I thought we were on season 2 because they've done this before. Right? And this is one of the insane things about all of this, because like Grace Randolph was reporting on this show like several years ago after seeing a preview of the show. So, and even then she couldn't stand the final version to watch it and review it. You know, and that's the wild part about all of this. If you can't even get somebody hardcore, you know, pixie duster extraordinaire like Grace Randolph to do it, what are you doing? This is bad. This is trash, and this is insane. And this just shows you the state of Marvel overall. Is Marvel Zombies something that's going to get me a bunch of traction in the algorithm? No, because it didn't get Disney any traction in the viewership either. But at the end of the day, our goal around here is to document the disastrous dumpster fire of all things Disney and honestly Hollywood in general. The spirit of the age has infested every aspect from the top to the bottom, from the lowest levels all the way up to the high in every aspect of our culture, whether it be government, private industry, video games, or movies and television shows, all the way down to just the basics of Marvel. And we've seen the result of this. They say you know a tree by its fruit. And Kevin Feige's Marvel has had nothing but rotten fruit fall off of it over and over and over again. And Marvel Zombies is the latest example of this. This is what happens when you prioritize agenda-driven storytelling over actually giving the fans the characters that they know and love and want to see acting like the characters they've always known and loved. I know, strange concept. If it worked in the past, it's going to work in the future. And guess what? Just like Kamala Khan failed in Marvel Comics, she has failed once again in the MCU. And guess what, Kevin Feige? It's more egg on your face, another notch in your tombstone as going down as the worst studio head in history. And guess what? It's exactly what you deserve, because you danced with the devil in the pale moonlight, believed all the lies about the modern audience. And Marvel Zombies is your latest bird. And after all, the fans decide. And you have been found wanting. Marvel Zombies is a flop and a failure. And after all, it's exactly what they deserve. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.